How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to talk about the scope and lifetime of a variable. Besides a name, a data type, and an initial value, every variable also has a scope and a lifetime. A variable scope indicates where the variable can be used in an application's code, and its lifetime indicates how long the variable remains in the computer's internal memory. Today I'm going to show you variables that have class scope and procedure scope. First of all, I want to show you our little program that we're going to be working on today. It's the test scores program. So let me show you the control names that I have for it. So you can copy those down if you need to. Now I'm going to run the application so you can see what it does. So enter scores here. We'll enter a score, say you bombed the test, got 50. Add the total. Let's go 100. So now you have 150. Okay. So it just keeps on adding and adding, and you get the point. Now if I click on message, it'll tell you your total scores are 150. Good. Exit. Alright, so our program works. Now let's take a look at the code. Okay, let's take a look at the code. You already know about these statements here, the option statements, some comments. Down here we have the exit button. So let's take a look at this section here. Actually, let's start here. We have a variable here. Instead of using dim, we're using private, and the name of our variable is DEC total, and it's a decimal. Now here's an example of what we call a class level variable. This variable is declared within the class it forms a class statement. I'm sorry, the forms declaration section. Okay, this is what we call the forms declaration. So it's in this area here, right after public class main form. Whenever you see if you ever want to declare a variable that has within the classes declaration section, you would start, instead of using dim, you start by with the keyword private. Now, what's special about this uh, variable is that it can be used by the different procedures within the program. So here I have the procedure called add total button click, and then I have another procedure called message button click. Okay, so both of these procedures can use this variable. So that's what we call a class level variable. Okay, so now let's take a look at this next variable, dim DEC score as decimal. This variable will get each score. Okay, and we'll continue to save it, and we'll save the score. Next, we're totaling the scores. You're kind of aware of this. The first line here, we're parsing it. So now we have the score from the text box, and it's being saved into the DEC score. Now this is interesting. This next line, here we have DEC total from up here, and we're adding DEC score. We're doing this first, and then we are saving it into the DEC. We're saving it back into the DEC total variable. At the end, we have our message label, and we're displaying the result, the DEC total variable. Then we have scores text box.focus. So what happens here is that once the procedure is done, the focus, or the insertion point, the little blinking, you see this little blinking bar, it goes back to this text box, the scores text box. So I have this other procedure called message button click. I'm also using, as you can see, I'm also using this variable that's up here, which is DEC total. Now this is a very simple procedure, and it's mainly for purposes to show you what why we need to use a variable in a class variable. So message label.text, your total scores are. So notice I'm doing something a little different here. I'm starting off with a string. Anything in between quotation marks is a string, and I'm appending. I leave some blank space here. I'm appending the DEC total, as you can see there. Okay, I got to show you something very interesting. Now let's pretend that we didn't have this procedure. If we didn't have this procedure, then we would only be using DEC total within the add to total button click event or procedure. So if we weren't, let's suppose we were not using this. Let's put I would put some comments there. So we would need that, and let's comment this one. And instead, what I would do is create what's called a static variable. I'm going to activate this one. It was under comments. And what a static variable is that it's a procedure level variable that remains in memory and also retains its value even when the procedure in which it is declared ends. So we're going to run this, right? And at the end, it still holds its value. That's what's so special about a static variable. So if I were to run this, and I enter some scores, it still works. The thing is that this is not going to work now because I put comments over it. But as you can see, it still works. I hope you understand what the difference is between a class level variable and a static variable. Thanks for watching.